Okay, Daily Tarot. What is the date? The 14th of December. And it's torrential rain here where I am. So I've stayed in the house all day and managed to just go out on the motorbike to get some supplies, and I survived, but the roads are flooded. So it's a little bit hairy out there today. Let's see what the tarot has to say for us today. So we have the Three of Wands, which is a man waiting for something to happen. He's looking out over he's on like a rocky outcropping. He's looking out over the sea, and he's looking for signs that the boats that he's sent out are coming back. So he's a merchant. He's someone clearly quite well off, if you see his gown. And he's taking support from the wands that he's planted quite firmly into the ground. So wands represent desires, passion. They do represent business as well, and in this case he is the merchant. So this is to do with investing in a business, some kind of business idea perhaps, something which is going to make money. And you may feel like you have put a lot of effort into grounding whatever this business idea is, or this business process. You may be starting a new business, you may be just working on something particular, but there's a sense of having put in a lot of effort and waiting for it to kind of yield results. So flanking the Three of Wands, we have the Moon and the Eight of Cups. And so the Moon is a journey of evolution through the recesses of the subconscious mind, and it can be quite a dark place. So it could be that in the process of developing this idea or this business or this concept, that you've had to do quite a bit of inner work, or searching for answers. It could be that you've had to face some unconscious shadows of yourself, or demons, or things that are arising, things that have arisen from the unconscious through this process. And often the things that arise from the subconscious, there's a reason that they're... Sorry, just stopping my little kitty from scratching the couch. Don't scratch the couch, please. So the lobster is making his way out of the waters of the unconscious, past these two, well, it's a dog and a wolf, and then through the pillars of Boaz and Joachim. And these pillars represent our fears. They represent the dualistic nature of the mind. So there's the conscious and then the unconscious mind, the things that we not necessarily push out of awareness, but the things that we keep out of our own awareness to kind of keep ourselves sane. And the dog and the wolf represent the balance between the domesticated and the wild. So it symbolizes all of these things that have been implanted in the subconscious mind, not just in your own lifetime, but in previous lifetimes as well. So this might seem quite deep when considering, like a business idea or whatever. It's like something as apparently sort of surface level or material level as a business idea, or as waiting for results to come from efforts that you've put into an activity. But it's showing us that this process has not been an easy one, and that there have been a lot of challenges on the way, but challenges particularly from your own mind. So you've had to overcome fears, doubts, insecurities, and also balance the wild nature within you. Of course, when we're trying to achieve a big goal, one of the things that we have to do is to consistently apply ourselves, regardless of sometimes how we feel. So if you're trying to start a business, you have to work those long days and sometimes long nights. You have to confront fears that you're maybe not good enough to do what it is that you've set out to do. And these are things that have come from a lifetime of learning, and sometimes a lifetime of making mistakes and previous failures. So there's a lot here with the moon and the Three of Wands, and it's showing that the process has been quite challenging in many ways, but that now you're at a point where you've actually started to make some inroads. So there's only 3 wands. There's not a huge number of them. The 6 of Wands is about victory. So they're saying that you're on your way to victory, and you've probably passed through a lot of the difficulties that you'll have to face already, at least in terms of the difficulties that will or have arisen from your own mind. So that's quite a positive message, even though the moon is quite a challenging card. The moon obviously also represents cycles of life. And it also points the way to the sun. The moon reflects the light from the sun. And so the card shows with the sun and the moon inside the sun at the top of the card that from shining your conscious awareness on to these subconscious issues, subconscious fears, that they come into the light of day, and that's the only way to address these types of insecurities, is to bring them into conscious awareness and become aware of the things that are stopping you and holding you back, that are inside your own being. And then we have the 8 of Cups, which is about walking away from something which didn't work in the past. There's a sense of sorrow here, and again, look, you have the symbolism of the sun and the moon. So the moon can symbolize sorrow as well, deep emotions. There is a similarity to these 2 cards. They're both quite dark. They're both to do with somebody treading a path that runs through a landscape that involves a lot of difficulty. So we have the 8 of Cups symbolizing something that was built up before, which a lot of emotion was put into, a previous life maybe, and having to walk away from that with a sense of sorrow. So I think the path to where you are now, which is a path of becoming more established, more stable and more grounded, and also coming to a point of actually having the energy to drive you forwards. You see the green stalks growing from the wands. So we're no longer in these kind of desolate landscapes of the pains from the past and the emotional turmoil of having to leave situations that weren't working for you before, and having to face questions about whether or not, questions like, was it my fault that these things didn't work out? You know, how much am I to blame for this? So this represents failures of the past as well, and the emotion that comes along with those. But there's also a hidden positivity in this card, because the person has already turned their back on the sense of regret, and they've decided that a new path is indeed where they want to go and where they need to go in order to be able to actually accomplish what they were trying to accomplish before. So there's certainly a sense of moving forward into a new endeavor, making concrete progress, and coming to a point where you may not have to deal with such a range of troubling emotions. And there we go. We have the Four of Wands, which comes directly after the Three of Wands. So again, this is a card of stability and happiness and having accomplished certain things in your life. There's a sense of celebration here, and there's also definitely a sense of achievement, of stability of one's home life. So that's certainly where you're going, is away from the troubles of the past into a state where the efforts that you're making are bound to produce results for you and to help you create a sense of celebration and a happy and stable home life. And we also have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Cups. So again, some quite challenging cards. The Page of Pentacles is saying to me that there may be a sense that what you're doing now, you may not feel super accomplished at. You may feel like you're just in the beginning stages of actually starting to produce something, but you are producing something in the real world nonetheless. And the page also comes with like a youthful energy of curiosity, of like honest and authentic energy put towards something that you care about as well. And then the Two of Swords and the Five of Cups. The person here is trying to decide about two different directions, but I'm interpreting this as that the Two of Swords is showing that you have a choice between this youthful energy of accepting that you're not perfect at what you're doing and what you've produced isn't yet the final result. And on the other hand, this sense of having lost something in the past and dwelling on the emotions of what was lost. So again, the Five of Cups, there's a sense of sorrow, but the person is focusing too much on the emotional turmoil in the past and not yet able to turn around to see that there are 2 cups that haven't been spilled out. They're still focusing on the 3 cups in the past that they were putting their efforts in, putting their energy into. It's definitely a sense of something failing in the past, and that in the current moment you have a choice, which is to continue to dwell on the difficulty of the journey, on all of those challenges that arose from your own being and from the environment that you were in and the challenging situations that you had to go through, and all of the emotions that are associated with that. There's a lot of negative emotion here as regards to the past, so you may have found yourself dwelling a lot on past failures, very much so. But the offering here is to accept this new beginning, to continue making the efforts that you're making, to find the joy in the current process, and to know that you are working towards something solid, something tangible, something where maybe even others will be involved, and that this will lead to a happy outcome and stability in your home and personal life, as well as your business life. So a very positive reading with some quite challenging components from the past. Hope that was useful and interesting, and see you next time.